examination. Out is July 9th at 10 o'clock.
Judge, I can make that work, but I think Ms. Murphy has a conflict.
Your Honor, that's correct. Mr. Nienhuis and I spoke via email a little bit about our schedules. I don't want to speak for him. I could be wrong, but I think he might be out the week of the 1st, and I'm actually out the week of the 8th.
I am out the week of the 1st. She's accurate. So could we perhaps do it the 15th?
Has to be on one of my homicide days. So the 16th at 10 o'clock?
That works for the people.
That works for the defense, Judge.
All right, July 16th at 10 o'clock. We continue.
Judge, can I request a DSU report? Just because I want to address bond on the 16th if possible.
Our clerk tells me that it already has been requested. It just hasn't been completed yet.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Everyone take care.
You too, Ms. Murphy.
What time is that, Your Honor? 10 o'clock. Okay, thank you. What? Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Your next court date is July 16th at 10 o'clock for preliminary examination in 36th District Court. You're all set, sir. What is it?
He stepped out for a moment. Judge King, courtroom. What's your name? Right. She must have submitted a request that counsel. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. Mhm, mhm, mhm. So, so she's not concerned with it, still showing on her record? Okay. Okay, okay, we'll remove it, yes. Okay. All right, okay. All right, now that's just great. That's just really. Detention. Judge King. What's your sister's name? YouTube. CR234. Right, okay.
I'll take it. Good morning, sir. Yeah.
Hey, Judge.
Good morning. How you doing? Long time no see.
A very long time. How are
Where
you?
you been, man?
AG's office.
You look great,
Not as great as you, but yeah, I'll look behind you.
though.
Mind if I approach real quick?
So you with the agent?
Yeah. Very exciting. Well, no. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. Exactly. Yeah, you were laughing. I was just like. That's just. Um, yeah, I'll be around.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
They have something, just ready.
She's not there. She said, they told me after 11 o'clock.
I hear her.
Gotta take care of it first, why don't you?
I was feeling like I didn't even hear you. I was, please don't disappear. Excuse
Mr. Baker here yet?
No, sir.
It's not 10 yet.
We send up waves. If you-
I hear you.
When did Mr. Bishop say he's arrived?
He called at 9:57, said he was calling me.
Morning, Mr. Rich.
Never fails, Judge. That's never on time. Stand next to your attorney.
Calling case 2457508, people of the state of Michigan versus Patricia Anne Marie Williams. Defendant is charged in count 1 homicide, murder, first degree premeditated. Count 2 assault with intent to murder. Count 3 assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 4 and 5 and 6 felony firearm. Count 7 carrying a concealed weapon. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mark Fedor for the people, P76177.
Mayor, please court Your Honor, Tyrone Baker, number 62647, appearing on behalf of Ms. Patricia Williams, present on my left.
Tell me your name for the record.
Patricia Williams.
There's a date and time set for preliminary examination. Are you ready to proceed?
People ready to proceed, Your Honor.
How many witnesses will there be?
2 witnesses.
You have any preliminary matters before we call witnesses?
Your Honor, the people would offer into evidence what's been marked as people's proposed exhibit number 1. This is the post-mortem report that's authored by Dr. Courtroom.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor, to play for example.
Admitted?
May I approach?
Yes,
And may I read in part from the report, Your Honor?
please.
So again, this is a post-mortem report authored by Dr. Nicole Kroom of the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office. The examination was performed on April 30th of 2024. Dr. Kroom indicates per investigation, the decedent was a 37-year-old phenotypic male who was found in a motor vehicle, multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced at 23:47 hours on April 29th, 2024. The victim is identified as Eric Bernard Lewis. And then Dr. Kroom continues on. Post-mortem examination revealed 4 gunshot wounds on the body, 2 to the head, 1 to the back, and then 1 to the right forearm. And then at the bottom of page 1, Dr. Kroom opines in consideration of the circumstances and post-mortem examination. It is my opinion that death was caused by multiple gunshot wounds, and the manner of death is homicide. People are ready to call our first witness.
We have a stipulation of the identity of the deceased to be Eric Bernard Lewis.
Yes, Your Honor, for example, so we just.
So receive that stipulation.
People call it China Pits.
Now, please step forward, give your name and spelling of your name to the young lady seated there. Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Thank you. Please have a seat in the witness box next to me, right up here. Just pull that door open, have a seat. Speaking to that microphone that will be to your left. Okay, when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Morning again, Ms.
Speaking to the
Pitts.
microphone for me.
I'm just gonna first ask you to state your full name, spelling first and last.
China Pit, CHYNA, yes.
Thank you. Now, first I'm gonna ask you, you knew Eric Lewis, correct?
Yes.
And how did you know Mr. Lewis?
My ex, but, we're best friends.
So
Right.
ex is an ex-boyfriend?
Yeah.
Now, about how long did you know Mr. Lewis?
About 1 year.
Now, and I'm gonna ask you some questions about the last time you saw Mr. Lewis. Just hang in there if you need some time, just let me know. So the last day that you saw Mr. Lewis, do you recall that?
Yes.
And where were you with Mr. Williams?
I was at the Western Hotel in South Village.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that last day you saw Mr. Lewis, you said that was at the Westin?
Correct.
Okay. And where is that again?
South Village.
And do you recall the date? If not, that's fine. Do you recall the date?
The last time I saw him, he was there at 28 and 2.
Okay. And so how did you end up getting to the Westin?
We were together all day, 28, and he didn't want to go home. And I worked for the Marriott, so he was like, just use your discount. Just use your discount to get a room. And I was like, get a room at the Westin. And that's when we went to the Westin.
Now you say we, did you go together with Eric?
I did.
Okay. And then who drove?
Eric did.
Now, were the two of you alone the entire time at the Westin?
No.
Okay. And we'll get to that in a minute. What did you do initially with Eric at the Westin?
Just chilling.
Okay.
Drinking.
All right. Now,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
We were just chilling, drinking and getting high at the Westin.
And I just need to ask you some questions about that. What did you actually see Eric using drugs?
Yes,
And what was he using?
lipids, cocaine, and alcohol.
Okay. Now you say whippets. What's
And
that?
cigarettes.
Whippets is what?
Lipids, nitrogen, cartridges.
Okay. And drinking alcohol.
Correct.
And what type of alcohol?
Tequila.
Now, were you doing the same thing?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Now we're gonna jump ahead. You said at some point, so someone else joined you,
Yes.
and who is that?
Lisa, that's what I know her as, but I'm not gonna know her name is Patricia.
Okay. And do you know approximately when Lisa got there?
Between 3 and 4 a.m.
Okay. And then when did you and Eric get to the hotel?
We got to the hotel the 28th about, don't quote me on it, but about 9, 10 p.m. I think, on the 28th that Sunday.
You
Okay.
pointed to someone and said, Lisa. Lisa's in the courtroom.
Yes,
Can you
she
tell us what she's wearing?
she's down with the olive green.
All right.
Yeah.
Record should reflect the witnesses identified as
One,
defendant
two.
Patricia and Marie Williams.
Thank you. And then when Lisa got there, did you invite her?
I did not.
Okay. Do you know who invited her?
Eric Goolsby.
Okay. And did you have any issue with Lisa being there?
No, because I knew her. I knew, yeah, when I first saw being around each other.
Okay. And how long had you known Lisa?
I know him about 3 years.
3 years?
About 3 years, yeah.
And was it something where you saw her regularly, or how often? Did you
I saw her when I was, around Eric and all that stuff. So yeah, that was it.
Okay. And so you knew her well enough to be able to identify her in the court today?
Yes.
Now, when Lisa got there, did she do any of the drugs?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And did she drink the alcohol?
Everything. It was me and Eric.
Okay. Did anyone else get there after Lisa?
Yes.
And who was that?
I knew her by Tiny, when all this occurred.
And approximately when did she get
Between about 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. Don't call me on time.
there? And would that be April 29th?
That was the 29th, yeah, that morning, yeah,
The same morning that Lisa got there?
yes. I was after.
All right. And so when Tiny got there, did you see Tiny using any drugs?
Yes.
She did the same thing? you did?
Everybody did exactly the same thing,
Okay, including alcohol?
everything.
Now, were there any issues before Tiny got there? Were there any issues between you and Lisa and Eric?
No,
Okay, no disputes?
no, that when I first time out hanging around each other, we always before.
Okay, now when Tiny got there, were there any disputes, any issues?
Lisa got on her tough tone bully type thing.
Okay.
I'm excuse my language, but yeah.
So you said Lisa got on who?
She got on her tough tone bully type shit. That's
And so I just need to clarify, Lisa was doing this
to Tiny,
to Tiny?
to
Okay.
Lisa, which is her name that I'm.
Okay. Was there any physical fighting between the two of them?
No, it was not.
Now, at some point, were all of you together in that hotel room the entire time?
For the most part,
At some point,
Eric
did somebody
and
leave?
Eric and Tiny had left to go and get another whip and some more alcohol and stuff, yeah.
Okay, so when they left, about how long were they gone?
I don't remember, not that long, and we was in Southfield where they had to go was around 7, so it was about.
Okay, and then, so you were in the room with Lisa?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And, for the record, Lisa is the defendant.
Lisa is Patricia.
So once Eric and Tiny got back, were there any issues?
Just not necessarily, like, it was just petty arguments, like, Lisa was just like, picking with her, like, oh, well, shut up, or what you talking about? When she looked at the girl and was like, I don't like you. And Lisa, Tiny was like, I don't know, like, I don't give a fuck, he was just picking shit like that. She was just being,
Okay. And, try and not use that language,
I'm
but
sorry,
you're fine, you're fine. Were there any issues, was there anything Eric said that caused any stir, any reaction?
between the two of them, you know.
Okay, with Lisa, did Lisa, have any arguments with anyone other than Tiny?
Yeah, she had an argument she had a dispute with Eric.
Okay, and then how did that arise?
Eric left out the room for a minute, came back to the room, and he was upset about something, and he found out, some information about when his homeboy said that. He was upset about it, and Lisa was and then went in the moment and was antagonizing Eric, like, why the fuck, like, I don't want to hear that shit right now, you already know the information about your friend and and he kept telling her, we have TCH. Stop it, like, I don't wanna hear that. Does anybody that knew Eric know he was kind of cool and collected all the time, it took a lot to get him back there. And she kept antagonizing him and.
Okay, and at this point, this dispute, we're back and forth between Eric and Lisa. Was that after Eric had returned with Tiny?
Yes, but this wasn't, he had left out again after he returned to Turkey.
Okay. Now, did that escalate at all between Lisa and Eric?
Yeah,
Okay, and tell me about that, what happened?
he got up and put his hands on her.
And
Told her to shut the hell up.
describe more about how he put his hands on
I don't quote unquote me, because I don't remember exactly what, but, she kept antagonizing him and they got into a scuffle, a nice little fight. Yeah.
Okay, now, you say scuffle, were there punches thrown?
Yeah, between the both of them. Yep.
So, Eric was throwing punches at Lisa?
I won't quote unquote say punches, because I wasn't paying attention, I was trying to break it up, so I don't know if his hand was open or closed, so quote me on that part, but yeah, they definitely both put their hands on each other, and it got serious, yeah.
Okay, and so, did you see Eric swinging at Lisa?
Yes,
Okay, and then did you see Lisa swinging
Yes.
back at Eric?
yes.
And now, was there anything else, so they're swinging at each other, was there anything else just you can say about that fight?
Well, of course, he's a man, he must have better of her, I'm not gonna lie, but, he got better, but she just kept running off at the mouth, to the point me and her even got to it. She got mad at me, So, I know that's your mother, that's your friend.
Okay,
Like-
so during
I'm
the
sorry.
fighting, during the physical fighting, Lisa was still
When I
saying
got
the same
back to
thing?
mouth, yep,
Okay,
absolutely,
all right. Did she ever lose consciousness from the fight?
absolutely not, never.
Did you ever see her crying or anything like that?
She was crying from anger, not from being hurt. She just kept running off at the mouth. So,
Okay, at some point did this fight stop?
yes,
And what happened when it stopped?
security was called to the room, and like I told you, the room's up under my name and up under my job. So when the security guy called to the room, I opened the door. They're like, "You fighting?" They go in there fighting. I'm like, "No." And Lisa was like, "We could have just told them we was in here."
Okay, so hang on. So, security came up to the room.
Yes.
What caused you to answer the door?
I mean, security. I'm running to the door.
Was there a knock at the door?
Yes, it was not.
Okay, and the people who were outside, did they announce who they were?
Yes, they did, and I saw them through the people as well.
All right, and so when you answered the door, did you actually let them in?
No, I just peeked around the door, and then you open the door all the way.
Okay, and did they demand to come in?
They did not.
Okay. So you talked to security, and then did they eventually leave?
They did.
Now, while security was there, did you notice, so just to clarify, were Eric and Lisa still fighting?
No.
So they stopped when the
They
security,
stopped.
okay. Did you see where they went when you went to the door? Did they stay there or did they go somewhere?
She was by the bed, and he was sitting on the couch next to the TV.
Okay. And were they arguing at all while security was there?
No, not while security was there. No.
Okay. And so at some point, security left then without coming in the room?
Correct.
All right. And what happened after security?
After that, I walked back, and I was talking to Eric, like, "Eric, stop, da, da, da," and they still continued to argue back and forth. And then, like, they got to talking to each other. He was like, "This my girl, like, this my friend, like, we good." And I had to get them away from each other. And I'm like, not gonna lie, for my own selfish reasons, because I didn't want to lose my job. So I had to get them away from each other. So
All right.
that's how
And so did you end up splitting them up?
I did.
Okay. And is that split them up in the same, they're in the
No.
same room?
No, I left Lisa, me and Eric left Lisa and Tiny in the room. And me and Eric went downstairs to go to the car.
Now, do you know the room number? You remember it?
I know it was on the sixth floor. I'm gonna say 617 or 607. One of them, don't call me, but
Okay, so it's on the sixth floor.
absolutely.
Now, so once the fighting stopped, was there, did you notice any injuries on Lisa?
I didn't notice any injuries on even nobody,
Okay,
because that's not what my mom said. I'm worried about being away from each other.
okay. At any point during that night, did you ever notice any on that?
Not that I can recall, no, I don't remember.
Okay, you ever notice any injuries on your?
Eric either, no.
Okay, and then was there any dramatic change to the defendant that you noticed after the fighting stopped?
Well, I told you, I got them away from each other and we went downstairs to the car. We were downstairs for a while. And then Lisa and Tiny came downstairs and it was very hostile.
Okay, so Lisa was angry during the fighting, correct? Is that what you
Of
said?
course, absolutely.
Okay, after that, did that change? Did she become
Well, she's angry all the time.
still angry?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you went down to the lobby and then, from there, you went to
This
where?
car,
Is his being Eric's car? Okay, and, what kind of car is it?
it was navy blue Chevy. Dark blue Chevy.
Would you recognize that car if you saw it again today?
Of course.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Just showing you what's been marked as people's proposed three. Hang on. I'm showing you what's been marked as people's proposed three. Does that look familiar to you? And what is it?
Chevy. Oh.
And does it look familiar to you, that specific car? People would offer into evidence people's proposed three.
No objection.
Admitted.
Now, So you were, and then what were you doing with Derek in his car?
I would tell him, let's go to the car and smoke some cigarettes, because you couldn't smoke in the noise thing.
Okay, and that's what you guys were doing?
Yep.
All right. Was Derek doing anything else? Did you see him doing anything other than smoking? You said you're using drugs before
I'm sorry. Who's that?
texting?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he using any other drugs other than smoking?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, what kind of drugs did you see?
Cocaine.
Now, and then you said you saw Tiny and Lisa again?
Yeah, into the car.
Okay, and about how much time went by from it, and hang on,
Sorry.
Ms. Fitz, I need you to wait for the question, so no problem. So how long between the time you got to the car and then you saw the defendant and Tiny?
At least an hour.
About an hour?
At least an hour.
All right. Now, when you saw the defendant, did she say anything? What did she do?
They got in the car. Lisa and Tiny got in the car. They ping pong a little bit. That was mad. I got mad about it. And Lisa was like, Eric, I'm ready to go. Eric was texting his baby mama. His baby mama, his daughter, got into a fight. And he was like, the first time she said he ignored her. She said it again, like, Eric, I'm ready to fuck, excuse me, I'm ready to go. He looked back and was like, hold on, BITCH, like, I'm worried about my child right now, like, relax. And she calmed down, she was like, she about to be real serious if y'all don't take me home. So she calmed down too fast, and all I heard was, she put the gun in my face and told me, fuck out the car before I blow your ass.
Okay, now, and you're quoting Lisa, correct? Those are her words?
Yep.
Okay, so she used the experts, correct?
Yes.
Now, when you referenced that you heard a sound, and then what did that sound? Were you looking at her when you heard that sound?
No, I wasn't looking, I was looking at Eric.
Okay,
I'm like,
all right, now, the sound, and you verbalized the sound, what did that sound like to you in your mind?
it's like when you got to do it. Like,
Okay, and what did you do after hearing that sound?
got the hell out of the car and left it alone.
Okay, did you happen to actually see the gun?
Yes, I saw it.
All right, and what,
Black handgun.
black handgun? Okay, and where was the handgun?
In her hand.
In Lisa's hand?
Yes.
All right, and was it pointed towards any direction you saw?
It was in my face.
It's pointing to you.
In my face.
Okay, so the barrel was directed to your face?
It was.
Okay. Now, had you seen this gun before,
No.
before this? This is the first time you saw it?
Yes.
Okay. Had you seen what Lisa, the defendant, had been carrying prior to pulling the gun?
What do you mean?
Had you seen her carrying anything?
She like a purse?
So she was carrying a purse?
Yeah, she was carrying a little round green purse.
Okay. And were you able to tell what was in the purse prior
Of
to?
course not. She's very secretive and.
Okay, and then and you just need to answer the question. I get it. But you couldn't see inside the purse, is that what
I
you're saying?
haven't seen nothing in her purse.
Now, after you got out of the car, okay, where did you go?
I went back into the hotel.
Okay, did you contact anyone inside the car again?
I called Eric off the hotel phone and told him I left my phone in the car.
Okay, did you see Eric again after that?
I never saw Eric again after that. So I saw him like visually.
Okay, all right. Now, gonna go back to, so previous to this, was there any discussion, did the defendant discuss with you anything she had done in the hotel? Had she talked to you about some kind of event that had occurred
Oh,
inside
yeah,
the
well, she
hotel?
went upstairs with the prostitute and helped her robbed the client that was up there, yeah.
And this was what she
Yeah.
told you?
Again, that's my objection is, I'm not sure if he's asking her whether she told her this, whether she observed this, and there's no comparison.
My opportunity to clear it up.
And so this is what the defendant described to you, is what happened?
No, I knew everything that was happening before it happened, and then I found out what happened after when she came back to the room and told me.
Okay, so at some point, the defendant told you about going and helping
No, it was
prostitute.
Eric.
Hang on, Miss, hang on. At some point, did the defendant Lisa talk to you about doing some kind of thing with the prostitute? No. She didn't say anything about that?
When she got back to the room. Yes.
Okay, so when she got to the room, okay, then what did she say?
How she just helped the prostitute rob one of the clients and she got $80.
Okay, so that's what she described.
$80.
$80.
Okay, so that's what she described.
That's what she described.
All right. Did she show you the cash that she
Yes.
got? Right, and what did the cash look like?
It's 420s
And where did she put the cash?
in her bra.
Did you see any other cash during the day?
No,
No?
no.
Okay. Just one other thing, were you contacted by officers about this incident?
Officers,
Yeah,
the only time I talked to officers is when it was outside Eric's house.
okay. And when, during this time, or at some point when you talked to officers or detectives, were you shown a photograph to identify?
Yes,
Okay, and what was the photograph of?
so one shot at least, of Patricia. No,
Okay, and you identified that photograph as the defendant?
not doing it again.
I'm
Yes,
sorry?
Yes,
May I approach the
I'm
witness,
sorry,
Your Honor?
I didn't hear the prior statement. I just couldn't, I literally could not hear what she just said. What did she say before that?
well, yes.
No, the part right before that. About you do it again or something like that.
Oh, no, yeah, because yeah,
I'm just saying, I couldn't hear you, man. What did you say?
I said I would do it again.
And when you say I would do it again, you mean identify
I know
the
what it
defendant?
looks like in the bag. Yeah,
Okay, thank you. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna show you what's been marked as people's proposed exhibit 5. You can take a look at that. Do you recognize that?
I don't,
Okay, what is that?
Patricia Williams. And
Okay,
I knew about Lisa.
and then there's a signature on it.
That's not,
That's your signature?
that is.
Okay, and then
Ms.
there's a
Pitts,
date.
hold on a second, Ms. Pitts. I know a lot of people like you, you think really fast because you're pretty intelligent, but I need you to wait until you finish asking the question before you begin to answer.
And then there's a date and a time. See that?
Yes,
Is that accurate as far as when you signed it?
yes,
Is that around the time that you actually observed the photograph the first time?
yes.
And then there's some questions and answers handwritten on this document. Do you remember the officer writing that out?
Yes,
Did you get a chance to read what's on there?
yes,
Okay. And then all those, where it says A, those are your answers, correct?
correct.
And are those, what's written here, is that accurate as to how you answered?
Correct.
Okay. And this is a true and accurate representation of that photograph and everything else that's written on there, correct?
Correct.
Okay. People would offer into evidence what's been marked as people's proposed 5.
No objection for exam purposes.
Admit it?
Approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
No further questions.
Cross examine?
Maybe just have one moment. Morning, Ms. Pitts.
For you, this started on the 28th when you and Eric somehow met up and then began to dig it.
So I couldn't get the end of
You-
somehow met up and
met up and spent the day together. Do you recall around what time on the 28th that you met up with Eric? Do you recall whether it was morning, afternoon, or evening?
It's about afternoon.
And I'm sorry, I forgot to say, you said he picked you up?
Sorry?
Did he pick you up?
We met at his house at first, yes. I got in the car with him.
Okay. So you spent the day together and eventually at some point decided to go to the West End and then you booked it. Is that accurate?
Correct.
You said that you and Mr. and Eric were in the room for quite some time before either of the other two young ladies arrived. Is that fair?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. You already told us some of what you were doing. Your relationship with Eric, you said that he was your ex. Let me just ask you straight. Was there any sexual relationship between you and him? Okay. On this evening, was there any sexual activity? On this evening, was there any sexual activity between Eric and any other?
No.
Now, Lisa arrived first between Lisa and Tanya, right? How did Lisa get there? If you know?
I got it.
Was that something that you did? Is that something that Eric asked you to do? How did that come about?
Eric asked me to.
Okay, and you said that you knew her previously, is that fair?
Correct.
All right. You already explained that you knew her through Eric, right?
Correct.
What was the nature of, I guess, your relationship with Lisa? And I'm talking Miss Williams, you actually thought that you believe Lisa as Miss Williams, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What was your relationship directly, if any?
You didn't have one.
Okay. So on the day,
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
on the days when you would see her, is it fair to say that Eric would always be present?
Yes.
Okay. And under what circumstances would that arise?
What do you mean?
Well, you say you don't have any relationship at all with her. There would come occasions where you and Eric and her, I assume, would be somewhere, and I'm just trying to figure out like what type of activities your case would be.
We was together, it was, you know.
Like you go to
drinking and
movies,
high. No, never no movies, nothing like that, but
we're just hanging out.
yeah, Detroit, yeah.
Would this usually, and most often would this usually be at a house, a hotel, like what are we talking about?
I mean, I've been knowing her over 3 years, so I can't quote unquote tell you exactly every time we've been around each other.
I'm not asking exactly every time, I'm just saying in general, most often, how would that activity occur?
I would see her with Eric.
Tiny, the other young lady, had you ever seen her before?
No, that was my first time meeting her.
Okay. As far as you know, she just was a friend of Eric's.
Correct.
And do you know how she got there?
She got dropped off. I don't know exactly how she got. No.
She said at some point that there was a liquor run or a run to the store for more alcohol. And who went on that?
Tiny, come here.
Okay, and into an air star.
Yes.
And that's just in the timeline. You and Eric are there, then Lisa arrives, you gave some approximate time, I'm not trying to, the exact time.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Lisa arrived at some time, you gave some times, but I'm not trying to pin you down on the exact time. I believe you said approximately 3 or 4 a.m. And then Tiny came approximately. And then Tiny arrived sometime between 4 and 6 a.m.
Correct.
All right. It was sometime after Tiny arrived, I assume that then Tiny and Eric went on this run for more liquor.
Yes.
Do you know where they went?
No, I wasn't in the car, so no, I don't know exactly.
Okay. Did they return with alcohol?
Yes.
You mentioned several times like the whippets or are those like the nitrous cartridges?
Yes, they are.
Okay, all right. How many of those did you see Eric using this evening?
I don't remember.
How about yourself?
I don't remember.
about just in general, in total, how many of them were in the room? Approximately?
At least two.
Is this something that you can use once and then reuse, or does you use once
No,
and then
once they're
stop?
done, they go.
As far as you recall, you two don't really recall any more or less than
I really need to.
that. The cocaine, who provided it?
Eric,
You didn't bring any, right?
I did not.
We-
Well, we had some before we got to the room. Yeah.
Lisa didn't bring it.
I don't know, did she? I
I'm asking you,
don't know. I can't speak for Lisa.
did you see Lisa?
Can't speak for Lisa.
Asking what you saw, I'm not asking you to speak for Lisa, I'm asking you to speak for Ms. Pitts.
Can't speak for Lisa.
Did you see?
Can't speak for Lisa.
You keep saying that. I'm not asking you to speak for Lisa. I'm asking you a question about what you observed or did not observe. It's a simple yes or no question. Did you observe Lisa ever producing cocaine? Did you observe Tiny ever producing?
No. All she came with was her bag.
What color was her bag?
Pink.
Now, at some point you said that Eric and Lisa got into a dispute, right?
That is correct.
Indicated that Eric was upset, he had found out some information, in your opinion, that he was antagonizing Ms. Williams. Is that correct?
Not really.
And as a result of that, Eric then was got into choking Ms. Williams, isn't that correct?
I don't recall saying that.
You know, well,
Yeah.
did it happen?
No, that I can recall.
Okay.
He put his hands on it, but I won't say, I can't
When,
tell you exactly what he took.
when he put his hands on her, what did he do?
It was, you know, in this area, just to, you know, rough her up, so.
Just to rough her up?
Yeah.
Okay. When you say this area, what is this area? You don't remember the area that Mr.
Sorry.
Just want to be clear. Your testimony is that after all the things that you did remember, that you don't remember where Mr. Williams put his hands on this. Excuse me, that you don't remember where Eric put it. Ma'am, I need to be able to finish my
Hold on,
question.
you both can't, stop. You both can't talk at the same time.
Never said it was her name.
And I'm asking,
Never said it was her name.
I never said that
No.
you did.
No.
So if I can
No.
finish my question, then you'll be able to answer.
Mhm.
Is it your testimony that you do not recall the part of Miss Williams' body that Eric put in? And you have to let me be able to finish my question. You're not asking the witness being charged to allow me to finish my question before she chooses to give whatever response she chooses.
Ms. Pitts,
I'm sorry.
wait on the question, okay?
Okay.
Try to speak. Is it your testimony that you do not remember where Eric put his hands on Miss Williams?
It is my testimony that Eric Lewis did not put his hands on her neck.
Okay.
That's a slightly different answer than the question. The question was not whether he put them on her neck or not, but do you remember where he put his hands?
He just put his hands on her neck.
I didn't ask if he put on her neck. I said, do you remember where he put his hands on her body? She doesn't remember.
So you just remember that he did it, but you don't remember where, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. And how long did the physical altercation carry on?
I don't know, it was a while.
What was a while? The altercation?
Can't get, yes.
Oh, okay. That's what you. When you say a while, it'd be fair to say several minutes at least, right?
Not a few.
Okay. Now, during the several minutes, you did observe Eric trying to hit Miss Williams, correct?
Trying.
Trying to, actually doing it, either one.
They both were seeing each other. They were.
And as you put it, as a man, he got the better of her, correct?
Yeah.
When you say he got the better of her, what is it about the altercation that leads you to say it?
No, he was on top of her.
And he was on top of her and he had his hands on her, correct?
Yeah, hands on each other.
Okay. While he was on top of her, he had his hands on her, correct?
We had their hands on each other.
And that's not my question.
Your Honor, that is responsive to the question.
Yes.
Okay. What was Miss Williams' hands doing?
Fighting back. They were fighting each other.
Fighting back.
They
Wow.
were fighting each other. They
Wow.
were fighting each other. They were fighting each other. They were fighting each other. He's a man, of course.
And on
But
top,
yeah, she running off at the mouth and antagonized them. Yes, and of course, he's a man. It's gonna happen. But yeah, she was
running off at the mouth and he
they
put her,
were fighting each other.
she was running off.
They were fighting each other.
Can you wait on the question?
She was running off at the mouth and he put her in her place.
They were fighting each
Right.
other. They were fighting each other.
Well, okay, when you say they were fighting each other, man, who was the first person that put their hands on the other person?
I don't know part of that part. Yeah.
You don't remember that part, right?
Yeah.
That's foggy, right? But what you remember in detail is that they were putting their hands on each other, right?
Absolutely.
You remember that, this was got the better of her, right?
Yes, I
You
remember.
remember that he was on top of her, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Did you ever see Miss Williams punch him?
Yes. they
Okay,
were-
did she punch him while she was on the ground or while she was standing up?
Oh,
Okay, all right. But you didn't see Mr. Lewis punch
I
her,
don't know who.
right?
No.
Right? You didn't see that. In fact, you don't know who put their hands on who, is what you just said,
You
right?
have to give us yes and no answers.
Ma'am, is your testimony that you don't know who put their hands on who? Is that what you said?
I said, I don't know.
See,
What
back
I
to what you-
remember is they was fighting each other, but that girl antagonized her. That's why.
Right, in your opinion, it was her fault. Is that fair?
No, that's not what I said. Because if it was her fault, I wanted to step in and try to break it up between the two.
At some point, you did do that, I thought.
That's what I just said. That's what I said.
Okay. And when you did that, how did that go? Did it work?
Of course not.
Okay. When you say it didn't work, why do you say it didn't work? You weren't able to
Because they
stop it?
kept fighting each other.
They both kept fighting, or one person kept fighting?
They both did. I said that. That's what I said.
Okay. All right, were they still fighting at the time when security knocked on the,
I already said no. They weren't.
I don't know what you already said, I'm asking you that.
No, they weren't. They weren't.
So what stopped it?
Security. Being called to the room. That's what's up.
Did anyone in the room call security?
I don't know who caused security, but nobody in the room. No.
Okay. So you said that when security knocked on the door, were they fighting is my question?
Yes, they
Oh.
were.
And you went to the door, security never entered the room, right?
Never is.
They left. How long was it between when security leaves and when you and Eric go downstairs?
It was a while, but I don't remember. I don't know.
5
I had
minutes?
argument.
15
I don't
minutes?
remember. I don't remember.
Was it daylight when you went
I don't
downstairs?
remember. No, when I went to,
Yeah,
when we went
I
downstairs, it was
mean-
still nighttime.
I would just ask the witness, please allow me to ask the question before she assumes whatever it is I'm gonna say and says
And
whatever
then
she
for the
wants to say.
third time, you have to wait on the question, okay?
This question is different. Was it daylight outside when you went downstairs?
No.
Did you go outside?
I had to go outside to the car. Yes.
When you ran back inside? After this noise you claim you heard? Was it daylight?
No.
When you called Eric from the hotel phone, did you call anybody else?
No. I called my phone, but it's not nobody else that's me. So, no.
Didn't call police, right?
No.
There's someone. Oh, did you tell the police that Miss Williams told you that she helped a prostitute rob someone?
Yeah,
Who did you tell that to?
you just said it.
Well, I'm asking you. Did you tell that to the
You
police?
just said it. I didn't need you to repeat it. Are you gonna tell me what I said? You already told me what I said.
Right, my question, ma'am, is very clear.
It's not.
Clearly. But what it is who did you tell it to? Not what did you say, ma'am? Who did you tell it to? There,
I didn't hear the answer.
she said she doesn't remember.
Counsel.
You remember when you said that to the police? Don't remember who and don't remember when, right? Is that a yes?
I already answered your question.
Is that a yes?
I already answered your question.
I'm not sure what your answer was. You're moving your head around, doing all kinds of stuff. The court reporter has to actually record your answer, okay? Well, I'm asking you now.
Ma'am, just answer the question. Answer your question, Mr. Perry.
Question is, you don't remember who, you don't remember when, correct?
It was either outside of Eric's house or at the headquarters. Which one? No, I do not remember.
Okay.
But it was one of them.
So you're in the car and you hear a noise, and after you heard the noise, you ran, correct?
I'm sorry?
You said that you were in the car, that Ms. Williams was saying something to Eric, and that you heard a noise, right?
That's what I said.
Okay. And then, as a result of what you heard, you said you ran, correct?
No, I said that she put the gun in my face and then I.
Okay,
Hold on.
okay,
That's what I said.
okay. This is the first time I'm here, so I'm
Well, we're gonna
trying to reach
clarify
you
it
here.
with each other.
You have to understand. So when you heard the noise, did you look in that direction?
In the backseat, she was right behind me.
Did you look in that direction? Okay. And that's when you say that Ms. Williams put the gun in your face, correct? Is that a yes? Okay. And can you describe the gun?
It's a black cane.
Okay, all right. Then what did you do next?
Ran to the hotel.
And then that is when you called Eric about your phone. Did not tell the police that this will, did not tell the police that this had happened, correct?
I did not.
Did not tell the hotel that this had happened, correct?
I did not.
And did not try to call anybody else to say, hey, this person just put a gun in my face as well.
That's why I was scared.
You were terrified. That's why you called the
No,
police.
I sat in the room and sat there looking dumb as fuck, on him up all night. Yes,
Ma'am, you've
because I was
been
scared.
cautioned about your language. And I've been very, very patient, but I'm starting to lose patience. And it's not a good thing when I lose patience.
Sorry.
Now you said that when Ms. Williams told you about the thing with the prostitute, that she showed you some money, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And then that she put the money away in her bra?
yes.
Ms. Williams was crying during and after the altercation, correct?
You said, was she crying?
Yes.
From anger, yeah. It was one of those anger cries. Yes, that's what I said.
Okay. And you said that you and Eric were downstairs for about an hour or so before the ladies came downstairs and said, hey, we're ready to go. And that entire time we were at the car? Yes. You were in the car?
Yes.
And while in the car, Eric was using more cocaine, correct? Were you?
Yes.
How much cocaine would you estimate was used between the 28th and the 29th?
I was lying.
How in fact was the cocaine in fact being ingested? Was it these?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm gonna object. I don't see how
how this is relevant. Yeah, if we were talking about alcohol, it certainly would be relevant, because that's how much alcohol did the person drink? Just trying to get an idea as to
I
how,
don't care how it's just,
well, I'm just trying to find out and some idea, some background as to the possible level of intoxication, that's. So, we've used the term cocaine, I'm just ensuring that we're all talking about the same, in the same type of use, et cetera. She could have answered that question and said, well, hey, this, we had a fight and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just trying to be on the same page. That's it.
I'm gonna
I think,
I'm not
I
going,
think the use of cocaine is pretty universal. They use cocaine. I
well,
don't need to know if they smoked it, if they snorted it, or whatever. Why do I care?
because the levels of intoxication based on the type of use
You
and the
can ask
amount.
her questions like, were you so high that you didn't understand what was going on? That type.
Well, that's her subjective opinion. I understand that. I mean, I'm just trying to get some kind of objective idea as to what's going on.
What I'm trying to convey to you is that it's not relevant.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. I mean, at the end, I just asked the amount. She said she can't say it.
Next question.
Actually, I have no questions.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor, that's all.
Ma'am, so help me understand this. So there's a fight between Eric and Lisa. Hotel security is called. When they come to the door, they stop fighting. They're not arguing anymore. What about when the security leaves? They don't continue to fight or the arguing? Just arguing? All right. Now, how do you all end up in the car together after that?
So after security's call, they kept arguing. I wasn't like I said, I wasn't married. I didn't,
Yeah, because your name is attached to it. I
So
get it.
that's when I convinced Eric to. That's not.
Okay.
That was they can smoke with it. So I can finally convince them to go out.
So you and Eric get in the car. How does Lisa get in the car?
So me and Eric got in the car and down there smoking. And Lisa and Tiny was with one, and then I guess we took too long. And that's when they kind of came.
So Lisa and Tiny come down.
Correct, together,
Does Tiny get in the car also?
correct,
And so Tiny gets in the car, Lisa gets in the car, they get in the back seat, because you're in the front seat,
correct,
and Eric's in the driver's seat.
correct.
And then you hear a clicking sound, sounds like a gun being
Yeah,
cocked.
after she asked to keep going home, Eric been ordering, because he had some, told me outside of everything I had.
Okay,
And she, yeah,
so she puts the gun to your face, and then you jump out the car and you run back into the hotel.
correct.
All right, now how does this happen to where you come in contact with her again when she's telling you about a prostitute?
No, this happened before all of that.
Oh.
This is at the end of the day.
Oh, the
But
whole
when she first
prostitute.
got there before time came,
Okay, so the prostitute thing was before.
that was all before.
Okay.
This is around when she first got to,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, any questions based on my question?
Not from you.
I just, it's, the incident you're describing, that you say this was told you, are you saying that she said that had occurred right there at that Western
Yes, that happened at the West, correct,
after she had arrived?
correct.
I just have one more question, and I guess it's just because I'm nosy, but why did you guys decide to go to a hotel room instead of staying in Eric's house?
So Eric, I told you Eric was my ex. And we Eric was really close outside, but we broke up here, we were just really close. We just talk about things. So that day we got into it. And called me, just because he just wanted to be mad at the time. And he didn't get home that night. Like his girlfriend had to pop up and do the extra and stuff like that, so that's why we got to do it.
All right, any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, man, you may say.
All right, the people would next call. Leah Jefferson. Ms. Kenneth. should ask the court, in this case, is free to go.
Yes.
Thank you.
And please give your name and spelling of your name to the young lady seated there. Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Please have a seat. The spot's right next to me. Keep your voice up nice and loud and speak into that microphone that will be to your left.
Your Honor, before I start, may we approach?
Okay. All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Jones.
Good morning.
Now, I'm just gonna have you first state your full name, spelling your first and last.
Celia Jefferson, CALIAJEFFERSON.
Thank you, Ms. Jefferson. Now, and you understand why you're here to testify today, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, just before I start asking you questions about this particular incident, just need to cover something. Now you weren't in the courtroom while Ms. Pitts was testifying, correct?
Right.
Okay. You were in a witness room, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you have to be honest. Now, while you're waiting in the witness room, were you watching on video Ms. Pitts' testimony?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as what you saw in that testimony, is that going to affect anything you say on the stand today?
No.
Okay. So anything that Ms. Pitts might have said, that's not going to influence you to change your testimony today? Okay. So you're comfortable testifying right now to your own personal recollection of the events?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Now, and just going forward, just understand that you know, in any other proceedings, when another witness is testifying or giving evidence, you're not to watch that, okay? Understood?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So first, I'm going to ask you about Mr. Lewis. So Eric Lewis, you knew him,
Yes.
and how long did you know Mr. Lewis?
10 plus years.
Sorry, 10
Voice
plus
up,
years?
please.
10 plus years.
Okay. And how old were you when you met Mr. Lewis?
17.
And did you ever have any kind of relationship with Mr. Lewis?
Just like more recently, like, you know, talk.
What were you talking about?
It's like future stuff, you know, like me and him and my children, his children, and together and stuff.
Okay, so you're at it.
I think what we're trying to gather is, did you have a romantic relationship with Mr.
Mr. Lewis?
Lewis?
I said more recently, yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now, so I'm gonna ask you questions about the last day that you'd seen Mr. Lewis. Now, did you get together with him that day?
Yes.
And what caused you to get together with, I'll call him Eric. What caused you to get together with Eric?
He called me.
And what did he ask you to do?
She asked me to come to something.
Okay, and then what did you do?
I went
All right, and then where did you go?
to the west and south.
Oh, and is that a hotel?
Yes.
And then did you come up to the hotel, specific hotel room?
Like the room number?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and do you remember the room number or what
Yes.
floor it was on?
Yes.
Okay, what was the room number?
617.
Okay, so that was on the 6th floor.
Yes.
Then once you got to the hotel room, was Eric there?
Yes.
And was there anyone else there?
Yes.
Who else was there?
China.
And did you know both of those people before that?
Either one of them.
Either one of them? Okay. Had you, to start with Lisa, had you met Lisa before that? Ever?
No.
Okay. Now, if you saw Lisa today, would you be able to recognize her?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see her in this courtroom?
Yes.
And could you just identify an item of her clothing where she is in the courtroom?
Green shirt sitting next to the man with the curly hair.
Okay, so to the right of me.
Correct.
Okay. Let the record reflect that Ms. Jefferson identified the defendant.
Some of it.
Thank you. Now, as far as, do you know her last name?
No.
Okay. Did you know her, so before that, you didn't know her, you hadn't met her before?
No.
Okay. And did you know coming over to the hotel that those two were gonna be there?
I'm not sure if he mentioned her, but I didn't know she was there.
Can you adjust that mic for me, please, pull it down to the mouth? speak directly into it.
And just for further record, you have an apparatus on your mouth, and that's from your injury in this case, is that right?
Yes,
Okay, does that make it difficult to speak?
yes.
Okay, so just do your best, take your time. If you need to take any time, need a break or whatever, just let me know, okay? All right. Now, were you comfortable with the two girls there when you got to the hotel?
No,
No, okay. What made it uncomfortable for you? How did they treat you? Feel free to use the Kleenex next.
not pleasant.
Okay. All right. Now, we'll just leave it at that. Now, we'll have to get into this. Was there any drug use?
Yes,
Okay. When you got there, were the three using drugs?
yes,
Were they all using the same thing?
yes,
And what was that? Is it cocaine?
yes.
And what else?
Nitrous and then liquor.
Okay. And nitrous, is that referred to like pumping nitrous?
Yes.
Okay. And then did you do those things as well?
Once when I got there, and then they like kept that away from me.
Okay.
Lisa and Jim.
Okay. And was that another one of the things that you made you uncomfortable around them?
Yes.
Now at any time, did you leave the hotel room?
Yes.
And did you leave with anyone else? Correct. Okay. And approximately how long after you got there did you leave there?
I think maybe around the time that the store opened.
Where did you guys go?
To a liquor store and to a smoke shop.
Okay. And what did you get?
Another thing, interested in liquor.
Okay. And then where did you go after going to the store?
Went to the gas station, we met someone, and they kind of talked for a minute. And then they kept calling, Lisa and China kept calling, so we went back to the hotel.
Okay. Who are Lisa and China calling?
Eric,
Eric's phone?
yes.
Okay. And so do you know approximately how long you're away from the hotel room?
Maybe an hour.
Okay. And then who drove?
Eric,
Eric. And do you remember Eric's car?
yeah.
Okay. What kind of car did he have?
I believe. Impala, Chevy Impala.
If you saw a photo of the car, would you recognize it again today?
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
May,
So I'm showing you what's been admitted as People's Exhibit 3. Does that look familiar to you?
Yes.
What is it?
Yes.
Okay. Once you got back, let me ask you this. Were there any arguments between Eric and anyone before you left?
I thought that was, yes, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out if it was before or after.
Okay. So there was an argument at some point. Let me just ask you this. At some point, was there an argument between Eric and somebody?
Yes.
And who was the argument?
Eric and Lisa.
Eric and Lisa? Okay. And how did the argument start?
Lisa was like antagonizing.
Okay, what was she doing? What did she say?
She was just saying like, praying and stuff, but she was just like, like, you let your brother die. Say it, what she said, or just like,
Yeah,
it was just-
try and watch your language, but if it's something you have to quote, then go ahead.
she was just like telling them, he was weak and he wouldn't get like revenge for his brother's death or something. Like you let your brother die, like just.
Okay, and then how did Eric react?
He just sat there and he kept rocking and he kept asking her to keep quiet.
Okay. And at any time did that dispute or whatever, did that escalate?
Yes.
Okay, what happened when it escalated?
She just kept like talking and saying that stuff.
And now, just let me stop you. When you say she,
Lisa.
okay. And
And,
okay, go ahead.
um,
So she kept saying same kind of things to him?
yes,
Right.
and he just got up and, he kind of like choked her. Like, he was just like saying, like, I kept telling you to be quiet, please be quiet, please be quiet. Like, shut up, I keep telling you, shut up.
Okay, now, can you just further describe what Eric did? So, did he put his hands on Lisa?
I don't see what he's in.
Okay, now you said that Eric choked her. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I didn't see him swing on her, I'm sorry. Yes, I did see him choke her, he just choked her. Like, he just put her up against the wall and he was just holding her neck and he just kept telling her to shut up.
Okay, so Eric was holding Lisa's neck. Was he using his hands?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said you didn't see any swinging?
No,
Okay. Did you see what Lisa was doing in response?
yes,
What was Lisa doing?
she's still saying stuff, and she just kept yelling and saying like, like, I don't have nothing to lose and kill me or whatever, like, yeah, just a lot of stuff, like, she was just still yelling. Kind of like, that's all you got,
Okay. Did she physically fight?
She was trying to stop him from choking her, but I didn't see anybody punching anybody or slapping anybody. They were both just like stronger.
Okay. Now, so you said that he was holding her, was it up against the wall, was it on the floor, or what was he holding her up against?
Everything. The wall, the floor.
So they were moving around the hotel room?
Correct.
Okay. At any time, and at any time did that stop?
Yeah.
Okay, and what happened when it stopped?
What stopped it or what happened when it stopped?
What stopped?
The people at the front coming up the door.
Okay, and did you see who was at the door?
I did not see them, but the door was open and I just heard them.
Okay, did they announce who they were?
Yes.
And what did they say?
Front desk or security, one of the two.
All right, and then did someone talk to the security?
Yes.
Who was that?
Chinese.
Okay, did you talk to them at all?
No.
Okay. What did the defendant, Lisa and Eric do once they arrived?
Like she started like cleaning herself up.
And where did she go to do that?
The bathroom,
Okay, and then what did Eric do? Well, two things.
like wiping her off and like telling her, I'm sorry, why you do that?
And then while security was there,
No,
were they arguing at all?
no,
No, okay, so they got quiet,
yes, they began to do what I just explained.
and then after the security left, what did Lisa and Eric do?
They talked about what just happened.
Was there any arguing? Was there any yelling?
Yeah,
By who?
they kept getting loud about it.
Who was getting it?
Eric and Lisa, like they would get, like their voices would elevate, when they talk about it.
Did, so anytime during the fight, after the fight, did Lisa try and get out of the hotel?
No,
She didn't run off or anything like that?
no,
Okay. Did you see her distressed at all?
no.
Okay. How would you describe her manner or attitude or, how she was behaving after the fight?
She's fine after.
Well, you know, I would object to it in the sense that this woman just like she doesn't know she's fine. I don't know if she's speaking to her mental state, physical state, etc. But I'm saying she's touching, she doesn't know herself.
What's your legal objection?
That it's cost protection.
She can testify as to her observations.
Fair, sir.
And then anything else you noticed about the defendant after the fight?
Yeah, she eventually like started to be nice to me.
Okay. Now, did you ever notice anything that the defendant was carrying? Your time with the defendant at the hotel room, was there anything you noticed that the defendant was carrying?
Yes.
What was that?
The-
Okay. And was she carrying the gun in her hand, or how she was carrying?
She had it in a little purse similar to the one to my left, right here.
Okay.
That pattern, there's a black purse right there,
Okay.
similar to that.
If
pattern.
you can maybe just describe it by like the dimensions of the purse, how big is it?
Probably about this wide.
So for the record, so for the record, you're describing approximately 8 inches wide.
8 inches wide, about 8 inches tall too.
Okay. And it was black, correct? Or sorry, what
No, I
color
think
was
it was green.
It was green?
I think. I
Okay.
think so, yes.
Was it, and then how could you see the gun inside?
The purse was like not see-through, but it had holes all in it to make those holes.
Okay. And so you could see through.
Correct.
All right. Was there anything else you could see in the purse?
Like stuff, like sauce or something there. No.
All right. So hot sauce, and then you saw the gun.
Yeah.
And then could you describe the gun? So what color was it? Black. Okay. And then anything else that you can say about the gun?
Just looked like it had like two, circle things on it like this. I don't really know how to explain it, but that's all I remember.
Okay, so it's kind of 2 cylinders on the barrel.
Yeah, I understand that. She said two circle thing. And she said nothing further to elicit counsel's description.
Withdrawn, Your Honor. For the record, you're gesturing with your hands, showing you're making 2 circles with your hands, correct?
Yes.
One on top of the other?
Yes.
Okay. And that part that you're describing, is that in the front of the gun or the back of the gun?
Front.
Front of the gun? Okay. And would that be on the barrel?
Correct.
Okay. Now, just to be clear, might sound like a stupid question, just to be clear. Was this a big gun, like a rifle or a handgun, or do you try to not handgun?
It was a handgun.
Handgun, okay. So small enough to fit in the 8-inch purse.
Correct.
Okay. Now, when did you notice the gun in her purse?
When I got to the hotel.
Okay, so right away. And then, did you see any other guns in the hotel?
No.
Okay. Did you ever see Eric with a gun?
No.
Did you ever see Miss China?
No.
So after this incident, you said the defendant was being nice to you. When she was being nice to you, was Eric and China also around?
No.
Okay, so at some point they left the hotel room?
Correct.
Okay, but how long after the fight did they leave?
Like maybe a few hours after.
Okay, now, after they left, how long were you with the defendant?
It might take me about like 10, 15 minutes or something.
Okay. And then where did you go after that time?
We went to the car
Okay, where was the car?
in the parking lot downstairs.
Okay, was it the parking lot to the hotel?
Correct.
And then, whose car was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so was that the same car that I showed you in People's Exhibit number 3?
Yes.
And, so when you got to the car, who was in the car?
China.
Okay, where were they seated?
Eric was sitting in the driver's seat, China was sitting in the passenger seat.
Okay. And then, what did Lisa do?
She got in the back seat,
Okay, on which side?
China's side,
Okay,
passenger side.
and then what did you do?
I got in the back seat on Eric's side, the driver's side.
Okay. Now, what was, the defendant Lisa's mood at that?
She was upset.
And was there anything she said?
Yes.
What was that?
Before we walked downstairs to go to the car, she noticed a knot in the back when she went in the bathroom.
Okay. And did you see a knot?
Yes.
Okay, where was that knot?
Right here on the forehead.
Okay, so for the record, you're pointing to the left side of your forehead, correct?
Yes.
And, and then what did she say about that in the car?
Lisa was telling him, take me home, I'm mad, I got this knot on my head.
Okay. And, did Eric respond at all? Did anyone respond?
Yes.
What was Eric's response?
He said, I told you I was sorry, we talked about it, you should have stopped when we told you to stop.
Okay. And then, was there any further discussion about that?
No.
Okay. And then what did Lisa say anything else after that?
Yeah, she just kept saying, all right. Like, I'm telling you, I'm ready to go. All right, I keep saying it.
And then what was your observation of when she was saying that? Like, did you get a sense of where it was like?
Yeah.
What was it?
No, she was mad.
Now, at some point, did she bring her purse with her down?
Yes.
Okay. Were you able to see if the gun was still there?
Yes.
Did you see any other guns inside the car?
No.
Did you see Eric with the gun in the car?
No.
Did you see China with the gun in the car?
Questions have been asked and answered.
I'm just talking about the car. Your Honor. I asked about the.
No, she asked that question.
Okay. Thank you. And then with respect to the gun that the defendant Lisa had, did she ever take that out of the purse?
Yes.
Okay, what happened?
She eventually got tired of sitting there and she pulled the gun on China.
Okay, and pulled the gun on. What did she actually do?
She pointed it at her.
Pointed the gun at China?
Yes.
And what did you see what China did?
Yes.
What did she do?
She screamed and ran.
She screamed and what?
And ran
And ran what direction?
back into the hotel.
Did you ever see China again?
No.
And you saw the gun pointed at China?
Yes.
Did Lisa say anything when she pointed the gun at China?
Yes.
What did she say?
She told her to get the F out the car. She was ready to go.
All right. Now, how did you feel at this?
I was just lost and scared.
Did you get out of the car?
No,
Why not?
because I didn't know her. I didn't like the way they treated me in the room. So he was my friend. I just wanted to stay in the car with him.
Now, did the car ever move? Did it ever go anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay. So when the car drove off, who was driving?
Eric,
And I'll let you take it. Just let me know. All right, now when the car drove off, so who else was in the car? You and Eric, and who else?
Lisa, just Lisa.
Okay.
Lisa.
All right, and then were you aware of the direction that Eric was driving, like where Eric drove? Do you know where Eric drove? Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. Where did he drive? Like what street or roadway did he drive?
We left the hotel, he got down to the Lodge freeway. We would, which was very sweet.
Okay. Now you're in Southfield, right? The hotel in Southfield.
Yes,
Did you drive towards a certain city?
we drove to 7.
Okay. Would that be in the city of Detroit?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
So was he driving south on the Lodge?
yes.
Okay. And was there anything about his driving while driving on the Lodge that you remember?
Yes.
What was that? How would you describe it?
It was raining and his car was like not in the best condition. And so we were sliding, defrost didn't work, so the windows were foggy. It was just, we were sliding on. It was just,
Was there anything you noticed about the speed he was driving at?
yeah, it was fast.
And as far as fast, and if you don't know, that's fine, but do you know like how fast in terms of miles per hour?
For sure.
Okay. Did you notice Eric doing anything while he was driving? Other than driving?
Yeah.
What was he doing?
He was wiping the window and it was getting like high.
Was he using drugs while he was driving?
Yeah.
And what was that?
Cocaine.
And was Lisa using any drugs?
Not in the car.
Okay, were you?
No.
Okay. Now, and then ultimately, where does Eric go from the Lodge?
Came up on the cinema. Yeah. I'm not sure if Lisa directed him to Murray Hill or if he just knew to go there.
Okay.
But we went to Murray Hill.
All right. And then eventually, did he stop somewhere?
Yeah, Lisa told him to stop the car.
Okay, so we'll get there in a minute. As far as all the driving that he was doing, during that time, he said he was using drugs. Did he ever threaten anybody?
No.
Okay. What was his mood like while he was driving?
He was happy.
Okay. Now, when you got to the destination, do you know where you were when the car stopped? Do you know where you were? As far as what city?
Yes.
What city?
Detroit.
That would be in Wayne County, state of Michigan, correct?
Yes.
All right, so tell us what happened when the car stopped. What did Lisa do?
She just opened the back door, sat her purse on the seat, and just grabbed her gun and just started shooting him from the back seat.
Okay, was she still in the car when she started shooting?
So much of her, like her shoulder, arm, she was kind of standing in the doorway of the car. You know, she opened the door, her purse was on the seat, she was in the doorway, and her arm was inside the car.
All right.
Because it came across my face.
Okay, and was she getting out from the back seat that was behind the front passenger seat?
Correct.
And Eric was still in the driver's seat when she shot?
Yes,
And just to be clear, she was shooting at who?
here,
And approximately how many shots do you think she shot at Eric?
I thought maybe like, I think,
And if you don't know for sure, that's fine, just an approximation if you can.
5, 6,
Okay, but it might have been more, might have been less.
I think it was 4.
Okay. Now, after after the defendant stopped shooting at Eric, did she say anything?
Yes,
What did she say?
she asked me where I was going,
Okay, what were you doing?
about to get out the car,
Okay, and then what did she say?
she told me to get back in the car.
And what did you do?
I think I began to say no, I thought, I'm not really sure, but she just shot me.
Okay, and do you remember how many times she shot?
No, I don't know how many I heard, but I know how many times I was shot.
Okay, so four bullets hit you.
Correct,
Okay, but she might have shot more than that.
correct.
Okay, and then what did you do while she was shooting?
I was running.
And did you notice was she moving at all while you were running?
She was chasing me
Okay, was she on the same side of the street as you?
for a brief minute.
Okay, and as you clarified, was this on the street that you were running?
I'm sorry?
Were you on the street running, or where were you?
Yeah, I was the street beside the road.
All right, and then did you? So you hear the shots, and then at some point did you hear another sound other than shots?
She was like clapping because she was running the other way.
So the shots stopped at some point?
Yes,
Okay, and then what did you hear after the shots stopped?
shoes.
Shoes? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then where did you go when you were running? Run somewhere.
I was running like door to door. I was running through houses, hiding behind garages, just running, knocking on these doors and doors.
Okay, what were you trying to do in doing that?
Get away from her, get
Okay,
away from Lisa.
okay. And did you find anybody to help you out?
Yes.
Okay, and what happened there?
I was running and knocking on the door, and help me, and, a guy, I was standing on his porch with he saw me and he asked, was I okay, and I told him no, to help me. And he said, the police is coming, and, he, grabbed me, and then the police came down the street.
Okay.
And,
Now, I'm gonna show you what's been marked as people's proposed exhibit number 2. Yeah, approach the witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
Have you take a look at this? Does this look familiar to you?
yeah,
Okay. And so there's a car in that photo. Does the car look familiar to you first?
yes,
Okay. And whose car is that?
Eric's,
Okay. Now, where the car is in this photograph, does that location look familiar to you?
yes,
Okay. And how so?
that's where, they're showing.
And so is this a true and accurate representation of where the car actually was when it stopped? You were shot?
I don't know, I thought they hit him with their car.
Okay. So you're not sure whether this is where the car was when you were shot?
Right, but this is it, this is streets. This is where we were. I thought it was another car. We had recalled into a little, because he didn't even let off the gas.
Okay. How about when the car stopped? Do you remember where the car was when the car stopped?
Yes, it was on the right side of the street.
So looking at people's exhibit, proposed exhibit number 2, does that look like where it
Yeah.
stopped?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a true and accurate representation of where the car was.
yeah,
If you would offer into evidence people's exhibit number 2.
I have no objection.
Admitted.
And Your Honor, just permission to publish.
Hang on a second. Okay.
So I have on the screen, you just look to your right, Ms. Jefferson. That's People's Exhibit number 2 that I just showed you. Now, just to be able to see a red dot, you should see a red dot on the screen. Or you may not. So, all right, so you should see a cursor on the screen. So you said that you were seated behind Eric, correct?
Yes,
So that would be on this side where the cursor is.
yes,
And then Lisa was on this side where the cursor is.
yes,
Okay. And so when Lisa shot Eric, you said that she was just halfway inside and outside of the vehicle. That's in the back seat, is that correct?
yes,
So around here where that cursor is?
yes, correct.
Okay. And then when Lisa told you to get back in the car, were you was this door that I'm pointing to with the cursor, was that door open?
Yes,
Okay. And but you were still seated in the car?
I'm not sure if I was like seated or standing. I believe I was in the doorway as well.
Okay. And then so you
I was panicking.
okay. And then you left. All right. Now, you had an opportunity to view some videos that were taken around the time of the incident, is that correct?
Yes,
And if I show those videos to you today, will you be able to recognize?
yes,
All right. Now, in one of those videos, do you recall seeing Eric's vehicle drive by?
yes,
And you're offering to evidence People's Exhibit number 6. This is a video of the incident. People's Proposed Exhibit 6. I just want.
You seen the video, Mr. Perry?
Yeah, I just want to see this one.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor, not for exam purposes.
Admitted?
And your permission to publish.
Yes.
And just for the record, I'm restarting the video at time 0. All right, so for the record, I just paused at 12 seconds and I start pressing play. And all right, now for the record, I'm pausing at 34 seconds. Ms. Jefferson, just when you're ready, I just want to ask us a question about the video. Now, did you hear some popping in the video?
Yes.
Okay. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes.
Okay. And how does it sound familiar to you?
No, I have to object. I assume, I mean, what we hear on the video appears to be, sounds like gunshots. This woman has testified she had been shot. I'm certain gunshots sound familiar to me. I just, as it relates to distance, I guess. Where's the relevance of whether it sounds familiar? No, also, I think she said she has no, she has no basis. This has been admitted.
What's the vote? Sorry. Here.
My objection, Your Honor, is that then that there's no foundation and basis as to whether he asked her, do the sound sound familiar? I'll let it rock. I'll deal with it.
Okay, so Ms. Jefferson, so tell us, how does a popping sound, how does that sound?
It was me and Eric getting shot.
Okay, so that sounds like,
I think it
Me and Eric getting shot.
so that was the sound you heard when Eric was shot, you were shot.
Correct.
Okay. Now, a little bit after that, there was a voice in the video. Did you recognize the voice?
Yeah.
And how did you recognize it? What was the voice? Whose voice was that?
That's my voice.
Okay. And do you know just roughly what you were saying?
I was asking her to asking Lisa to like stop or, stop chasing her, shoot me or something.
Your Honor, I'm gonna zoom playing the video. Again, this is starting the video at 34 seconds. And then, so Ms. Jefferson, was there another video that you saw where, so you referenced a gentleman contacting you after you'd been shot? Did you watch a video that showed that?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, that video is people proposed exhibit 8, and after that,
Need objection?
Not for exam purposes.
Admitted?
information public.
Yes.
Lay down. I need you to lay down. Ma'am, hang on, man. Yeah, I need EMS to step it up. I got a female doctor that Hey. Lay down. Go ahead. Ma'am, I need you to lay down. We gotta see where you're hit. I know. Arm. Alright, ma'am. If it's serious, we're gonna get it right now. We need him to pull up now. I know. Lay down. Ma'am, I need you to stay down. Ma'am, hold on. You got people coming. Okay, I need to see where you're hit. Lay down. Please. I know. Sir, you got gloves? Yes, sir. Ma'am, I need you to stay still. So I can see where you're hit. Okay? Yep, right there. Y'all need anything? Ma'am, stay back.
And Ms. Jefferson, that person that we saw there in People's Exhibit 8, do you recognize that person on the ground?
Yes.
Who's that?
Me.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. That, Mr. I have some questions. If I ask you anything you understand, let me know. I'll try to ask you. Okay. Mr. Jefferson, for you, this all started in essence when you received a phone call. Is that fair?
Yes.
From Eric, right?
Yes.
Saying, come see me.
Yes.
Do you recall around what time you may have arrived at the hotel? Approximately.
6 in the morning.
You didn't drive there yourself, right? No. Just a follow-up. And other than Eric or some other who were in transportation, you would have had no other way to leave there. You didn't have a car there,
Right.
or anybody else there that you did that could have taken other than Eric, right?
Correct.
You arrived there, you observed Eric, China, and person you leased, right?
Yes.
Right, and you had observed that they're all, drinking, doing things that you've already described. Is that fair? Okay. All right. You said that you kind of got there, and initially that you also that your use of cocaine, that then the other women were preventing you from doing it. I understand that correctly.
Absolutely.
You were asked about whether you were using any drugs on this evening. You said that at first, when you first got there, but that other women were keeping that from you. Is that an accurate description? Okay. And that was part of their mistreatment of you. Was that? Well, let me ask you about that. You indicated that they were not treating you very well.
Right.
Yes, sir. Mr. Jefferson, you indicated that they had treated you poorly. You indicated one of the things that made you say that was that they were preventing from keeping things from you. Am I describing that properly?
That is not what made me feel that way.
Okay. Can you help us understand what it was that made you feel that?
Yes. He still was being very aggressive. She threw my purse at me while I was there. She mentioned to me that she was a bully, or she asked the room and tell her I bully bees, and You know, she's just very intelligent.
In some ways, you indicated that both of them treated you poorly, is that fair?
Yes,
There was never any kind of physical altercation with you and there, right?
no,
I want to back up a little. You said at some point. There come a point where you learned about some kind of lake or something like that. Do you recall that?
yes,
And who described that to you?
Eric,
Okay. And he described that there had been some kind of lake. And who did he say that? Well,
Lisa, I wasn't sure if he was saying China, I know for sure he was saying Lisa.
did you ever hear China tell Erica that she had put away some money?
Yeah,
Did she in fact indicate to you that she had put away some money or something with regards to whatever this incident was?
she never made the indication to me, no.
Did you ever see him?
There.
At the hotel?
Do not, no, pulled out money.
Okay. This one, Lisa never told you that she had been involved in any kind of incident, correct?
She told me that that's what she does, actually.
Okay. When you say that, I'm just asking about this particular thing that Eric described to you. Lisa never said to you that she had been involved in that issue.
I don't remember.
How long? I want to cover, there comes a time when you and Eric Lee go to the. And I believe you asked about where that was in relation to this argument that eventually occurred. Okay, between, as you testified, Lisa and Eric. Am I right to understand that you and Eric went to the store, came back, and that at some point later, then the argument occurred, or did the argument occur prior to the trip?
Occurred after the trip.
And because it's after the argument, kind of things proceed to eventually where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Between the argument and you leaving, there's a long period of time where you and Lisa are in the room, just the two of you. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Is that the time period that you were describing that you said Lisa was nicer to?
Yeah.
Can you estimate for us how long that time period was where China and Eric were out of the room?
It seemed to me as if it was like 10, 15 minutes.
And eventually you and Lisa then go downstairs, right?
Yes,
End up at the car, they proceed from there, is that fair?
yes,
Okay, I want to back up a little bit to the altercation itself. You said that there was you said in essence that, in your words, Lisa was saying things or antagonizing Eric about something that other girl. Is that with his brother?
correct.
That she said things and then Eric eventually got mad.
Yes,
It's fair to say at this point, well, let me ask you, at this point, is Lisa, does she appear to you to be intoxicated? I'm saying intoxicated. I'm speaking as the alcohol.
no,
Okay. What about Eric?
yeah,
What about China?
no,
What about yourself?
no,
Okay. Now, everyone in the room has used cocaine at some point or at some level in your presence. Is that fair?
yeah,
Okay. Would it be fair to say that any person was using more or less than any other person?
yeah.
Okay. Who would have that been?
I was using less than Lisa, China, and Eric. I wasn't using it.
They were
Correct.
more than once.
Yes,
The
entire time we were there at the hotel.
Oh. Now. This is one that's how to jump ahead of it. You said that when you were in the car with Eric and Lisa, and driving them around, and at that time that Eric was also at that time using cocaine in the car. Is that fair?
Yes,
Let me back up. The fight itself, Lisa then continues to say things, and then Eric basically gets up and confronts her about it. Is that correct? Puts his hands on her and chokes her. And she hasn't swung on him or done anything physically to him. Is that, I mean, it's in response to what she said. Is that fair?
when she did something to him, yes, she didn't swing on him, no, but she did something to him, yeah.
What was it?
She was antagonizing him, she was standing directly in his face, saying like degrading things to him while I was sitting next to him, like she was trying to get a rise out of the type.
And that's in fact what happened. Is that fair? That's what happened, right? He got upset and proceeded to choke her against the wall. Is that fair?
Yes.
You said at some point she's also on the floor, right?
They fell on the floor, all of them turned as well, she was trying to break them.
Eventually it does end. The security knocks on the door.
Yes.
You never saw this woman hit Eric, right?
She was just trying to fight him with our.
I believe you testified that she was just trying to get him off her neck.
Yeah.
Eventually that's over. Eric and China have went to the car. Some time goes by. You and Lisa then go to the car. You described, a lot of things about what happened at that point. I want to get to when you leave and the car ends up on the lot. What is your understanding of leave as to where you're going? Okay. All right. And did you ever during this entire time did you ever call them? I'm not gonna get silly questions. I'm just asking.
No.
Did you ever call or text any friend or any person about what was going on?
Yes.
Who would that be? Why don't you tell their first name? Not their
The first name?
or you can identify them however you choose. So you contacted somebody?
Yes.
How did you do that?
I texted.
Okay. And for what purpose or what did you read?
I just said you're safe with a bunch of extra letters behind it because I started thinking it.
I assume that was to a friend.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you say that?
Because Lisa was doing stuff in the hotel room that was making me nervous.
Was this something that you did at the hotel or was it something you did at the car? The message.
That was in the hotel room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before you left.
Yes.
Okay. How about in the car here? Anything like that? Not that anybody else relate towards it.
No.
Car eventually gets off the freeway, comes to a stop. Did you hear Eric say anything to Lisa before, during, or after she pulled out the weapon? As you
Objection, Your Honor, B.
what did you hear say?
Not offered by target.
And it's not being offered, which you assert.
It's not, it's not.
I'm not, first of all, I'm not asking, I don't even, you didn't have to tell me what he said, but did he say anything?
Yes.
Were they arguing?
No.
Did you, yeah, just make some mistakes. Did you have any weapons of any kind on yours?
No.
No mace, knives?
No.
Did you observe in the car any weapons?
No.
You described the driving on the lodge. You said that the car wasn't even sliding. This is while it's driving on the freeway, right?
Right, it was raining.
It was raining. And when you say it was sliding, and was the car wobbling from side to side, or you kind of help us understand what you're feeling, what you're observing?
Yes, it wasn't Eric's driving, it was the car. Like the car is, well, something, I don't know what was wrong with this car. It was just like we were sliding because it was raining, so we were like hydroplaning, I don't know if that's the right word. We were just like lifting on, we were just moving around too much.
Let me ask you this. Would it be fair to say that Eric was driving faster than Steve? A few miles over?
Yes,
Did Lisa ever ask him to drive differently?
yeah,
She expressed her concern about the way he was driving. Is that fair?
something of that nature, yes.
To the point where it escalated to let me out.
I'm sorry?
To the point where that escalated to let me out of this car. Is that fair?
Yeah, she didn't say let me out.
But she expressed that idea in whatever word she used. Is that fair?
Yeah, she wanted him to drive somewhere, get up off the freeway.
Get off the freeway and let me out. Right?
Yeah, drop her off, yes.
I'm asking, I wasn't there. But
We were
she's,
dropping her off, that's what she wanted to be, she wanted to be dropped off.
okay, but what I'm trying to get at is, she's also expressing her concern about the way that he's driving. And whether she's in danger. Is that accurate or is that not accurate?
Kinda, I think it was more so that knot on her head. Cause she expressed it.
She said, when security came, that Eric, that Ms. Williams had started cleaning herself up. Was she bleeding in any way?
I don't remember.
Okay. You saw the knot. You said that Eric then was apologizing to her and helping her clean up.
Yes,
Wait a moment. Ma'am, you said that you first observed a gun at the hotel room
yes,
prior to you describing the shooting. Prior to that, did you see the gun in the car?
wait,
Like when you got in the car with Lisa, could you see the gun?
when we left out the hotel together,
Well, I'm specifically talking about when you get in the car. Yes, when you left the hotel and you come downstairs because Eric and China are outside
right,
and you end up leaving.
right,
Can you see the gun? Did you see the gun? Where it's at?
yes,
Okay. And is this in the backseat?
yes,
You and Ms. Williams sitting next to each other, correct?
yes.
When you first see the gun out in the car, did you see her take it out of her purse or did you just see it in her hand?
Sorry, take it out.
And what did you do when you saw it?
Look, I just look, an alarm, I just didn't move.
I don't feel anything.
Can you redirect?
1 second. Ms. Jefferson, I just need to clarify something. You indicated you were hit by bullets. Did you obtain any injuries from that?
Yes.
Okay, what were the injuries?
I have a broken shoulder, broken jaw. Lisa shot my nervous system on this side, and then
And then for the record, we said this side, you were pointing to your
left arm.
left arm. Okay.
Correct. And I was shot in the neck, and then it came out and grazed me, and on the right side of my neck.
Okay. And those were all from Lisa shooting you?
Correct.
Nothing further.
And you say you were shot 4 times?
Yeah.
Once, twice in the neck?
Shot in the neck right here. In the face right here.
Okay, indicating the left side of her chin, the middle of her neck, grazed on the right portion of the bottom of the neck, and then you said in the shoulder, indicating oh, broken shoulder right in the clavicle,
And right.
and also in the through and through gunshot wound.
This one is really good.
The shoulder is through and through, and the gunshot wound to the left forearm. Okay, for the record. Okay. So I'm trying to get an understanding as to why the gun was pulled on China. Were you of the impression that China was preventing you guys from leaving? That's why Eric didn't pull off, because China wasn't going with you guys?
Your Honor, with all due respect, I object. It's asking the witness to speculate as to why the gun. And she's
I
already,
asked her impression.
and again, I think that's speculation.
The objection's noted. Was that your impression?
Not because of China.
No. What was Eric's reaction after Lisa pulled the gun on China?
He was like shocked, but he was just trying to calm her down because they were still talking, like, I love you, like, you know, she was talking to them. She was just like, I told you, bro, where you going? Right now, I'm upset. You know, they were talking.
Okay.
She just still kept waving it around.
Now, you never had any argument with Lisa, did you?
No,
Were you arguing with Lisa at all?
no, I just let her say what she said to me. I didn't respond to her.
Did you have a fight with Lisa? Did you do anything to Lisa at all? Any questions based on my questions?
Nothing from the people.
Boom.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Jefferson,
Did she ever say anything that led you to believe that she wanted to hurt Mr. Lewis?
No.
I'm not familiar.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down.
The people have no further witnesses, no further proofs.
Any witnesses ever have to defend?
No.
People?
People move for bind over on all 7 counts.
Okay. How do you get the assault with the dangerous weapon as it relates to China case?
Your Honor, that was the threatening Miss Pitts with the gun, pulling the gun and pointing the gun.
That happened in Detroit.
That was in Southfield.
Right.
Your Honor, I would argue, and I didn't prepare any case law. I know that when there's a chain of events, where there's multiple crimes occurring in multiple jurisdictions, it can all be charged in the same venue. So here, the actual murder occurred in the city of Detroit. This is all along the same chain of events, and so we could charge it in Wayne County as well.
You know, I would object to that, and
it's all said and done, even they can't file a motion for that, but that crime, if it were alleged, would have certainly been completely completed, et cetera, in Oakland County, and there is no jurisdiction for that charge.
I thought there was something like that in the law that talks about the chain of events, the sequence of events, and this all being out of the same transaction and occurrence.
Well, I would argue, well, again, I guess I would argue not that's very much arguable in the sense of when we're talking about same transaction occurrence, we're talking like a robbery or something in regards to that. That might be the case where something starts in one county and proceeds into another. But this is a situation where, in essence, we have separate allegations. The allegation of a felonious assault, which is some hours, no, I'm sorry, which is prior to and is in essence done if it was committed. And then we have a later incident in the city of Detroit. Again, I think that this
We're talking about the same people.
we are talking about the same people.
We're talking about within close proximity.
You're talking about distance wise or time?
Time. Close proximity, same people, same defendant, same gun. These people were all together at the time that the initial assault happened. And then she allegedly assaults this young lady, China, tells her to get out of the car before I blow you, something to that effect. And then as they leave, this person, Eric, gets shot. This person, Talia Jefferson, she gets shot. So it sounds like the same transaction occurrence.
I understand the court's position. I would argue that it is outside of jurisdiction. I would ask the court to consider this as a charge. I understand the court's position.
That's why I brought it up. But I thought that something like that happened. Otherwise, a situation like this, you'll have these kinds of cases all over the place.
Understood, Your Honor, and there is. I don't dispute. I'm here to do my job.
I understand.
Here to do his. So.
I get it. You have any objection as to other counts?
Your Honor, as to the other counts, I would object with that.
I'm sorry, do you object?
I would object without argument.
All right, this court is more than satisfied that people have met their burden of probable cause as it relates to all the charges contained in the complaint you want. The court finds those charges were committed in the city of Detroit. The court finds probable cause to believe this defendant committed. The defendant will be bound over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court Criminal Division for further proceedings. Her arraignment on the information date and time will be July 2nd, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. Defendant will be remanded to the custody of the Wayne County Sheriff.
Here, I just wanted to address bond. I know the court said remanded, and I just want to make sure that there's a clear record that I believe that the bond has been something below remand, and I'm asking that.
Well, I just said, on a remand.
Thank
And
you.
I would just ask the court to order the issue report, possible review.
I order a DSU.
Thank you.
Records witness. Inspector.
I have your exhibits, Mr. George.
Yeah, I come back to you, try to see that.
Okay.
She wanna have a word with you. She wanna have a word with you.
We're about to have a heart attack. Let's go.
My bad, I didn't open it, man. I thought it was. No, you good.
What court is this?
438. Sure.
That concludes my docket for today. Ladies and gentlemen, hope to see you tomorrow, same bat station, same bat time. I'm off to Judge Agrees Court.
Judge Wack. See what it says.
Oh, they finished?
You should just say Judge Wack. Okay.